Thanks for joining me in another episode of Why Not Go, the channel dedicated to rock and roll, especially punk and especially the Sex Pistols. Well, this video is about Joy Division and Peter Hook. Going to see him tonight, but it does have a very strong Sex Pistols connection because, like many people in 1976 were lucky enough to see the Sex Pistols, they inspired so many bands to form, including Joy Division. Peter Hook and Bernard Sumner, they were friends, and on June 4th, 1976, they went to the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester to see the Sex Pistols. It was a gig organized by Pete Shelley and Howard Devoto of the Buzzcocks. They had already started because they had already seen the Sex Pistols. They were supposed to open up, but I guess they weren't ready. But it was the Sex Pistols' first show in Manchester, and it's talked about a lot and written about a lot. It's called The Gig That Changed the World. There were a lot of famous people at that show, including Tony Wilson, who went on to Factory Records. He was also a famous TV presenter. Not just Peter Hook and Bernard Sumner, but Marky Smith of The Fall was there, and Morrissey was there, and also Mick Hucknall was there. So yeah, the Sex Pistols in 1976, they really crisscrossed the country. I talk about that in my Burton-on-Trent video. They played a lot in 1976, and I think of it as they went around and they created sparks or lit fires around the country and inspired so many bands. I can't even, of course, name them all, but inspired so many young musicians and would-be musicians to be creative and get up there on stage. And two of those people were Bernard Sumner and Peter Hook. He writes about that gig in this book, which I love. I guess I got it for £5 at Rough Trade Records in London. And he says there, after he saw the Sex Pistols, he writes, I was totally, utterly, absolutely gobsmacked. I love that word, gobsmacked. I was thinking two things. Two things I suppose you'd have to say came together to create my future, my whole life from then on. The first was, I could do that. I love that because I think so many people that saw the Sex Pistols, they thought that they were absolutely amazing and brilliant, but unlike maybe seeing David Bowie in 1973, most people probably thought, I don't know if I could do that. But when they saw the Sex Pistols, people really, young people around the UK thought, I could do that. He goes on to write that the music wasn't even that, he loved the music, but he said that wasn't really what made the band special. He says what made them special, without a doubt, was Johnny Rotten. I'm going to get teary-eyed now. The tunes were only part of the package. And then he goes on to write, what he embodied was the attitude, what he embodied was the attitude of the Sex Pistols, the attitude of punk. Through him, they expressed what we wanted to express, which was complete nihilism. You know the way you feel when you're a teenager, all that confusion about the future that turns to arrogance and then rebellion. Like, fuck off, we don't fucking care. We're shit, we don't care. He had all of that and more. And God bless him, whatever he had, he gave a bit of it to us, because that was the second thing I felt. After I felt I can do that, it was, I want to do that. No, it was, I fucking need to do that. So it's so brilliant what the Sex Pistols did. They created a whole movement, a whole revolution in the UK with all those live gigs that they did in 1976. And they inspired so many bands that ended up not even sounding like the Sex Pistols. I mean, Susie didn't really sound like the Sex Pistols, and The Fall didn't really sound like the Sex Pistols. But the Sex Pistols are what inspired them. And I can't I can't even put my my thoughts around that. It's just so monumental what they did. So Ian Curtis wasn't at that show on June 1st, but the Sex Pistols came back and they played again at the same venue, the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester, and they came back on July 20th, and Ian Curtis came to that show. And so after that, they started playing music. They were called Warsaw, and they became Joy Division, and the rest is history. I have a video on Joy Division. I saw them in London. I saw them 9 times. It sounds like a lot, but when I go back over it, I think, oh, why didn't I see them more? Because I think they played around close to 15 times in London throughout their career. But I lived there from 1978 to 1980. First show I saw was when they opened up for The Cure, March 4th, 1979 at the Marquee. And when they came out and did She's Lost Control, I just, I couldn't believe it. I heard them on John Peel. He used to play them, and that's what turned me on to them. And but when I saw them live and I saw Ian Curtis dance, they were my favorite band during that time period, and still my favorite, one of my favorite bands today. And I don't think they would have happened without the Sex Pistols. So it really is amazing what they did. So tonight we're going to see Peter Hook. He's known as Hooky. He left New Order in 2007, and unfortunately he sued New Order, the members of New Order, in 2015 because he felt that once he left the band, he felt that they didn't give him the royalties that he deserved after that. So they settled in 2017, and but they're not, I'm sure they don't, I think he said that he hasn't spoken to Bernard Sumner in probably 17 years. I like New Order. I saw them when they first came to LA, but to me they were, not nowhere near in the league of Joy Division. And one of the things that one of the contentions that they had between Peter Hook and New Order was they didn't want him doing Joy Division New Order songs live with his new group. So I'm glad they worked that out, because it's just he does a fantastic show, and it's a bit like I haven't seen Frank Carter and the Sex Pistols, but I know some people think, oh, it's not the same without Johnny, and of course it isn't. But I think those shows are probably a celebration of the music, and this is the way I feel when I go see Peter Hook and the Light. I've seen him, this will be my 3rd time. I saw him in 2018. I'll show a picture here. I came up to him in the parking lot after the show. He was very nice. He was just standing, I think, with his band, and we chatted a little bit, and I took this picture, or Joe took this picture. He said he still lives in Manchester. But I had no idea that he really does, the show is 95% Joy Division, and it's just an amazing show. He plays bass, but sometimes he has a backup bass player while he's doing a lot of singing. I think the backup bass player is sometimes his son. And so it really is a Joy Division show. And it's just a celebration of their music, the 2 beautiful albums we love, and all the other songs as well. And we saw him again. We drove all the way to Atlanta the last time. That was around 2023, I think. And I believe he did every song on Unknown Pleasures. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And his voice, I can't recommend this show enough. His voice is fantastic. I believe his voice is much stronger than Bernard Sumner's. I'm surprised he wasn't the singer of New Order. And I don't know if his voice is better than Ian Curtis, but his voice is amazing, just absolutely amazing. So it really is, the two concerts I've been to, it's a celebration of Joy Division, and it's just great, and I'm so happy. And the ticket prices were cheap, or cheap to today's standards. I believe they were about $50 each, which is great, similar to the Damned, who came to Orlando recently. And I'm always appreciative when the ticket prices are reasonable. And the last thing I want to say about Joy Division New Order is they've been nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, in 2023 and this year, 2025. They didn't make it either year, and which I find upsetting. It's a weird nomination process. That's I believe it's a committee that selects certain names, and then the public votes. So I guess the public didn't think that they deserved to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I mention that because I follow Peterhook on Facebook, and I know he's asked people to vote because it's a public vote. So it must be important to him. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I have a video on that as well. It's a lot of things with that institution I don't agree with, and he didn't either. And I think he was spot on, calling it, what did he call it, a piss stain, and not showing up for the ceremony. But yeah, that was sad. They didn't get in this year either. I think the rock acts that are in this year are Soundgarden and Bad Company, and what else? And the White Stripes, and Cyndi Lauper. Well, she's more of a pop person, but I mean, I think Joy Division New Order, they have it as one entry. I think that they deserve to be in there more than most of those other acts do, in my opinion. But they will be eventually, and I think it means something to Peterhook. So I hope it happens. I hope it happens soon. So anyway, I think I've babbled on enough. Let's get to the show. All right, we're here at the Aku Aku Tiki Bar, and I'm having a painkiller, which is gonna cure all my pains, physical and emotional.
And some bubbles there.
Oh yeah, that's a nice looking drink. So, all right, it's a pit stop before the show, and so Joe, you looking forward to seeing Peterhook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's we saw him here. It was about 5 years ago. We met him in the back. So
yeah,
he
was
can meet
nice.
Him again.
Yeah, it was 2018. It's actually almost 7 years ago. So, what's your favorite Joy Division song?
It was so hard to pick one, but I can kind of ease. It's a little easier to go with New Dawn Fades.
New Dawn Fades?
Yeah. It's hard to always pick something that's your favorite. But New Dawn Fades is such a powerful song. It's very unique. I just love it. I still play it all the time.
The lyrics are so powerful. I think it's about the collapse of his marriage. Yeah, it's so I love the lyrics.
It's just when I feel like that feeling in life that song has in it, I go to New Dawn Fades.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's at 5 in the morning, sometimes it's at 7 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 10 o'clock at night.
And
you'll feel that feeling, and it's a New Dawn Fades feeling.
And you turned me on to the Moby version.
Yeah, I love Moby version. I think being a younger Xer, I think I heard the Moby version first before I heard the Joy Division version.
Yeah, I like the Moby version.
Yeah, I like both versions. They're both really good, both very powerful. The original version obviously is definitely the best, but Moby did a great job.
He did.
I mean, it's good.
Well, I'm sure he'll play that tonight. So this is we're looking forward to. I think my favorite song. I mean, it's hard to pick one, but I'm most sentimental about.
What is your favorite one?
I think my most sentimental one is She's Lost Control.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think it has one of the best bass lines in rock and roll.
I think that changed music history too. I
think so, yeah. And it reminds me when I first heard them on the radio, John Peel, and when I first saw them live in 1979. It was just, I just couldn't believe that song. So hopefully, I'm sure he'll do it. Fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have my painkiller.
It's time.
Time for
Time to kill the pain. She's lost control.
Yeah.
And
New
dawn fades.
Share a drink and step outside.
It's time for some rock and roll painkiller, some Joy Division.
What's the line? Share a drink and step outside. One who's angry and one who cried. Oh God, it's all about his
Are you
marriage.
dividing joy with the painkiller? It's Joy Division, so the division is with some painkillers.
I don't know. I think it's just pure joy right now. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I look forward to the show.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get there. All right, we made it to the plaza. I love this place. I think it used to be an old movie theater. And they do live concerts now. And this is where we're going to see Peterhook. We saw him here in 2018. The Plaza Live. It's about 7:30. Oh, people are going in already. Yeah, I don't think there's an opening act. I think he does the whole show. All right. Plaza Live. So what's the temperature, Joe? 89 degrees, but it feels really good. It's 89 degrees right now, but which is, if anyone's watching this from England, you probably think, what? 89 degrees at 7:30 p.m. But
Wind and breeze.
yeah, but we're here. The theater, the Plaza Theater. I love that. That is mid-century. I love it. All right. All right. I think they're letting people in. I think they're letting people in. All right, we're inside. You excited, Joe?
Oh yeah, definitely. I want the doors to open. I'm like ready to.
Oh, they are open.
Oh, they are open.
Yeah, I think we could go in.
I could have put that.
I think they're open. I don't know. Okay. I love it. I love that. So, what's your name?
Tony.
Tony. Tony from Florida has a brilliant T-shirt. I love it because it brings back memories. I believe this was
Cool that you were at the show.
the last show I went to. They were getting really big at that point.
Right.
And deservedly so, but yeah.
Right on.
Why do you love Joy Division?
I just love the music and I love the tribal drums and I just love the whole lyrics and everything.
Any favorite song?
Well, we were listening on the way. I said I thought this is my favorite song, but I think 24 Hours maybe.
Oh, that's a great song.
Song, but Heart and Soul right before that title, it's hard to say. They're
Yeah.
all awesome.
I love
Right on.
Joe's favorite song is New Dawn Fades.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
You
you
see the
gotta,
set list of the different shows, they're like all different, all very, very good.
yeah.
She's
Right, so that was the concert. It was great. I wish he did New Dawn Fades. It was a he didn't do New Dawn
That's okay
Fades.
though. That's all right.
Yeah. But he ended with
2.5 hours.
yeah.
Actually, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And what did he end
It's good
with?
enough. I mean,
Love Will Tear Us Apart. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he did a lot of New Order, and I think a lot of new songs.
it's great.
Yeah, it was great. And he played for
That's
how long, do you think?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes with an intermission. That was amazing. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Hook, Joy Division, still going strong. At the Plaza. Yeah, I love the Plaza.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a great
I
night.
don't have any complaints really.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just selfish. I have like certain songs I want to hear.
Yeah, we want that one.
Yeah. But he started with Dead Souls, and I love that song. That's beautiful. That's the one where he goes, that they keep calling me. So that was fun. Peter Hook. It's a great show. And yeah, until the next time. What? We'll be seeing you
Be singing.
at the Plaza. All right. I love that Plaza.